Former President Donald Trump says he agrees with the Supreme Court in leaving abortion rights up to the states to decide. And millions of Americans are expected to hit the roads today to get a glimpse of today's total solar eclipse. Good morning. I'm Corva Coleman from NPR News, and here are today's top stories. Presumptive Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump has released a statement this morning on his view of abortion rights. He says he is supporting the current view spelled out by the U.S. Supreme Court that abortion rights are a matter to be left up to the states.
Many states will be different. Many will have a different number of weeks, or some will have more conservative than others, and that's what they will be. At the end of the day, this is all about the will of the people. You must follow your heart or, in many cases, your religion or your faith.
Trump says he supports exceptions to abortion bans for rape, incest, or the life of the mother. President Biden is going to Wisconsin today, where he will talk about helping people reduce their student loan debt. The White House has unveiled new plans to help borrowers cut interest payments. Millions of people owe more now than when they first borrowed. One plan offers interest relief of up to $20,000 regardless of income level. Congress returns this week after an extended recess with plans to hold the Senate impeachment trial for Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. NPR's Claudia Grisales reports it's part of a busy to-do list that includes lawmaker debate over military aid to Israel, Ukraine, and more.
In February, Congress put a series of major issues on the back burner that will take center stage this week. The plans were put on hold until lawmakers finally passed a federal budget for this year's fiscal year. Now, the Democratic-led Senate plans to start its trial of Secretary Mayorkas after he was impeached by the Republican-led House. And while that's expected to be a short-lived effort, Congress will see plenty of debate on whether to provide aid to Israel, Ukraine, and other allies. Many Democrats are raising new concerns on whether any military aid to Israel should be conditions-based. Claudia Grisales, NPR News.
It is Eclipse Day. More than 30 million people who live in the path of totality are being joined by millions of travelers to see the celestial event. NPR's Scott Newman has more.
The path of the eclipse traces a shallow arc across the Hoosier State, from Vincennes to Union City. Jason Elijah from Fort Wayne is planning to spend the day in northwestern Ohio with his partner, but just outside the path of totality. He's concerned about the crowds.
Usually when events like this happen, usually crazy stuff happens, and I just think it's probably going to be too much for these smaller cities.
To say the total solar eclipse is a once-in-a-lifetime event in Indiana would be an understatement. Some parts of the state that will experience totality haven't witnessed such an event since Ulysses S. Grant was president. For others, it's been more than 1,000 years. Scott Newman, NPR News, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
You're listening to NPR News from Washington.